The Boy Who Grew Dragons, Chapter 4, It's a Dragon. Okay, so maybe you'd be totally cool if you found a dragon in your bedroom. Maybe it wouldn't faze you at all and you'd know just what to do. You'd be all like, hey, cool, that's a cool dragon. I'm cool about that. But me, I didn't have a clue about what to do, and I definitely wasn't feeling cool about it. I mean, it was a dragon. It might only have been big enough that it could sit on my hand, and so far its fire breathing had only produced a spark. But hello, it was a dragon! It made a strange fizzing match sound again. And the more I watched it, the more I realised that this particular dragon didn't look very mean or dangerous. In fact, as it tilted its head to one side and hiccuped out a little smoke ring, the word that kept popping into my mind was cute. I stayed as still as I could. I remembered something about letting dogs sniff your hand before you say hello to them. So when it didn't move again, I slowly reached out my hand, resting it on the carpet just in front of the little creature. Another flutter hop, and there was a dragon sitting on the palm of my hand. An actual live dragon. It kept its wings half unfurled as it swept its head from side to side, inspecting my fingers, which were now warm from its breath. I could feel its claws treading into my skin like a cat, trying to get comfy. I didn't dare move in case it disappeared in a puff of smoke, in a puff of this really can't be happening smoke. Slowly I got to my feet, keeping my hand as steady as I could, and suddenly I decided to assume it was a he, started jiggling from foot to foot, leaning forward as if he was about to launch, and then pulling back, like I did on the diving board at the pool, wanting to dive but hating that moment when I'd have to step off into nothing but air. I thought about how baby birds learn to fly, and also how I'd seen their tiny bodies on the ground sometimes, the ones who had flown too soon. Was this the same for dragons? Before I could open my mouth to speak, he'd taken the plunge. For a moment, the tiny dragon was flapping upward, nose thrust forward, his wings shimmering. But then he blew out a smoky puff and began to drop, and my heart sank. I lurched forward to catch him, but just before he landed in my outstretched hands, he flapped and rose again. And he was off, soaring away over my bed, still reeling a bit from side to side, but most definitely aloft. I watched as he swooped back round and landed with a bump on my desk, to my relief and excitement, because let's be clear, a dragon had just flown around my bedroom. I clapped my hands and gave a whoop of delight. The little dragon lifted his head. He let out another smoky hiccup, this time followed by a tiny orange spark, and then he hopped towards me. Things I noticed from close up. Glittery wings. Scales that rippled through every shade of red. Eyes like diamonds. Hot, smoky breath. Sharp claws. 3 at the front, 1 at the back of each foot. Arrowhead tail, which he didn't seem to be able to control very well, because every so often he would whip it around and bash himself, and then twist his head round in alarm as if he was being attacked. And 2 little horns, one longer than the other. Things I did not notice. Tom. More another day. Bye.